Ourselves, and the Atlanta Falcons lead the New York Jets by the score of 20-10. A very slow start for the Jets. They did come on in the second quarter. Solid first half for the Atlanta Falcons. If you are head coach Bruce Coslett, what do you do in the second half? What adjustments do you make?
Well, I'm pleased with my offense now. We moved the ball in the second quarter. If I'm Bruce Coslett, keep doing that. The play action pass, the reliance on the running game. They got a few runs going. But defensively, the main thing is we got to keep Miller inside, because that's what's killing us. He's buying time on the outside. Haynes and those guys are too elusive. Drew Hill, Pritchard. If we don't keep him inside, it's going to be a long second half.
How about from Atlanta's point of view?
Atlanta's point of view, hey, they're just trying to do offensively what they've been doing. But I think there's a little concern defensively that the Jets could overpower them if the game got close. So I think Atlanta's a little worried about that. Look for them to start with the blitzing like they did the first half.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers from the first half. A look at the Coors Light halftime statistics. The Jets with 9 first downs, all 9 coming in the second quarter, while Atlanta had 12 and 172 out of the 178 total yards for the Jets in the second quarter. Look at the time of possession. Atlanta with over 20 minutes in the first half, and Eric McMillan decides to stay right there once again.
Well, it's unusual for a run and shoot team to have that advantage time of possession wise. They're usually on the short end, but the Jets turn the ball over there, and when you turn it over, you're going to give up time too, as well as the ball.
Browning Nagel, second season out of Louisville, second-round draft pick last year, won the starting job over Ken O'Brien, who reported late after holding out. O'Brien started the last 32 regular season games. There's Ken O'Brien in his 10th year out of Cal Davis. Nagel 8 for 15, 143 yards, threw his first NFL touchdown in the first half. The Jets from their 20, penalty marker is down. The play is blown dead as Blair Thomas heads upfield on the slant. The referee is Tom White.
Ball start. Number 69, number 80 on the offense. Prior to the snap, 5 yards, still first down.
It's the second problem for Jeff Criswell on the false start. I don't think you can attribute that one to noise, because it was relatively quiet. Now the Jets beginning here with the game plan that they wanted to start the game with. The double tight end situation, the 2 backs. This is the way they wanted to start the game, but were forced out of it early in the first half.
That was Boyer in motion. Blair Thomas is rocked back behind the line by the inside linebacker, number 95, Mike Reed. Mike Reed in his 6th season out of Wisconsin, spent a good portion of last year on injured reserve because of a freak knee injury. About a block of punt, he caught a cleat in the grass, and that put him down.
Well, he wasn't expected to start, but the injury to John Rady, who had been the Falcons' inside linebacker, a career-threatening injury, forced Reed into the lineup, and he's doing a pretty good job for him.
Nagel the throw. Completes to Burkett, but short of the first down. The strong safety, Jeff Donaldson, made the stop. It's a 14-yard advance, setting up a 3rd down and 1.
Well, I think the Falcons' theory is going to be to either rush 3 or rush 8. This time they rush 3, which is maximum coverage. Nagel has to pull the ball down, but of course he has enough time to find Burkett. Gets the ball to him. First 3rd down and short yards that the Jets have had today.
Now Burkett is flanked to the left side. And Baxter has a first down. Brad Baxter, who has developed into a very strong blocking back. He has been a short yardage and touchdown specialist. That only his 2nd rush of the afternoon.
Well, the Jets again with the 2 tight ends in there and trying to start the game. Straight handoff, you know. Baxter, a nice big strong back, and give it to him, pick up the short yardage.
Jets first down from the 31-yard line. Play action. Nagel whipping one out for a first down. Johnny Mitchell, the rookie tight end. He's only 21 years old. Jets' #1 draft pick out of Nebraska with his first NFL catch, and it's a 24-yard pass play.
Well, the Jets put the 3 tight ends in there and try to fake the run like they do there to Baxter. Falcons expecting pass, one-on-one. Tippins against Mitchell. And Bruce Coslin told us that Mitchell wouldn't play too much, but he would send him in after he told him what to do. So apparently he got it that time because that was a nice play.
First down at the Atlanta 46. The lone deep back, Blair Thomas, who has carried 5 times for just 12 yards. Nagel unleashing, and it is broken up. A flag has been thrown. McKyer with the coverage on Moore, and it looks to be an interference penalty on Tim McKyer.
Sometimes the situation for the defensive back is most difficult when the ball is slightly underthrown, because you have a tendency to run up onto the receiver as the receiver slows down, and that's what happened right there. McKyer had pretty good coverage, but he ran right up on the Jet receiver as the ball was underthrown.
Pass interference, number 22 defense. It'll be first down at the spot, first and goal. Number 62.
There you see McKyer in stride. He's close enough, but you see the ball is a little short. Rob Moore slows down, and McKyer runs up on him. It's interference.
That's a 42-yard play for the Jets. First and goal down at the 3-yard line. Brendan McNeil is stacked up, a loss of a couple.
The Jets going against their tendency down on the goal line. The tendency has been the past couple of years to hand the ball to Brad Baxter. He scored 11 touchdowns last year for the Jets and was kind of their designated goal line runner. This time they put him in at the fullback spot with McNeil, but he acts as the lead blocker on this play.
Second and goal at the 5. Baxter and McNeil are the running backs. Now Baxter off the handoff, slashing his way, fumbles, and it's recovered by Atlanta. And following the recovery, the Jets and the Falcons get involved. The officials attempting to break it up. Scott Case with the recovery after Jesse Tuggle came through with the hit on Brad Baxter.
Well, this time they go to Baxter. McNeil on the lead, carrying the ball just a little loosely, and the Falcons strip it. Number 52, Tippins, stripped the ball, and of course the Falcons come up with a big turnover. Now, that play right there cost you points, because the Jets had points for sure, either a field goal or a touchdown, and that's a big turnover, and turnovers are the most significant statistic in football.
Enormous turnaround. How about Scott Case, despite playing with the cast because of the broken right thumb, coming up with the football. Here's Miller throwing on first down, and it is broken up. Good coverage by the right corner, James Hasty, on the speedy Tony Jones.
Again, the Jets are trying to pressure that launch point that we talked about in the first half, and they're attacking that. You see Miller is able to get outside again and has plenty of time to get the ball down the field.
James Lofton of Buffalo calls James Hasty the best cover man in the NFL.
Well, that's a big compliment. Hasty is definitely an up-and-coming corner, and his best attribute is his size. He's a very physical, tough player. Besides having the speed and agility to play corner.
Second down and 10 from the 6. It's Keith Jones for a short pickup. Jeff Lageman, number 56, making the stop.
You know, the Jets, this is the Jets' second opportunity already of the second half. They had the ball in the scoring zone. Now they have a third down situation coming up. If they can make the Falcons punt from this area of the field, the Jets will have very advantageous field position, the chance to close this score down here early in the third quarter. And of course, Glanville again worried about the punt situation with the inexperience.
Third down and about 9. The ball outside the 7. And that's short of the first down. The ball caught at the 10 by Jones, immediately hit by Clifton, and the punting unit will check in.
Well, Pete Carroll has to be happy about that series. That's the defense's job when you pin the offense back. Make them punt out of their end zone. Now, you'll see here what Jerry Glanville's concern is. The left guard, number 51, Eric Fairs, is a key man on this punt protection team, and he only arrived for Falcon practice late this week. So this is the thing that Jerry said to us. Hey, we've got a left guard in here that hasn't ever practiced with the punt team.
Fulhay, punting for only the second time, just did get it off, and a good one. Rob Carpenter with the return, a 51-yard punt and a 12-yard return. Indoors in the dome, very cool, crisp 72 degrees. Well, since 1965, the Jet quarterbacks, Joe Namath and Richard Todd, a couple of guys from Alabama, followed by Ken O'Brien, and now in a starting role for the first time out of Louisville, Browning Nagel, who takes over at the Atlanta 47-yard line. Nagel's 10 for 17, 180 yards. Nagel able to pop short range, and Rob Moore is immediately hit by the right corner. Bruce Pickens. Once again, Nagel able to stand back there. He's getting the time.
Well, he's making some pretty good decisions too. He's pulling the ball down and he's not forcing it. He's finding the secondary receiver. Now, he picked up a couple of yards there, but that's better than throwing an incompletion or taking a sack.
It'll be a second and 8 at the 45. Rob Carpenter now flanked to the right side. To release and completes for the first down. Jesse Tuggle made the stop. And the forward progress is marked. It is a first down at the 35. Terrence Mathis on the reception.
Well, you see the Jets offensive line versus the Falcon defense. There's a big disparity in the weight. But the Falcon defensive strategy of either rush 8 or rush 3, that time they were in the 3-man rush, and the Jets did a little bit better job protecting than they did in that 2-minute situation.
With Oliver Barnett starting in place of Tim Green, that added to the disparity. Here's Blair Thomas. It's a loss on the play. Mike Reed, who's played well, coming up from the inside linebacker position to make the stop.
Well, the Falcons there, again, in keeping with their changeup, that time they blitzed everybody. And the Falcons are a team that not only blitz against the pass, they will blitz to try to stop the run also. And in that case, they were blitzing to try to stop the run. Now they have a second and long here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop off again.
Jets rookie tight end Johnny Mitchell, we're told, suffered a bruised shoulder, and it's doubtful as to whether he will return. That time, Nagel faced the rush, but completed to Burkett. Nice move by Burkett. And once again, it was Bobby Butler who was beaten on the coverage. You recall that first touchdown pass thrown by Nagel. Butler fell down.
It's against a blitz, man-to-man situation. Burkett against Butler just puts the juke on him. And when you're blitzing, there's no deep help back there. If you clear your defender, you can run for a long distance, and there it is. Now the Jets are back in the ballgame. And I'll tell you what, We're going to find out who's best right now because it's turning into a contest.
37-yard pass play. Surofsky able to put it through, and the Jets now trail by only 3.
Back to the outside, and as I said, when you're blitzing, there aren't any additional defenders down the field, and Burkett's been able to run, for quite a way without being in any trouble with the Falcon defense.
Burkett beating Butler. Butler, a 12-year man out of Florida State, a #1 draft pick back in 81, seeing additional action because of the number of injuries in that Atlanta secondary. Eric Pegram, after muffing it, and fumbles, recovered by the Jets. And they'll mark it down at the 1-yard line. Eric McMillan, who is one who has come up with the big play throughout his 5-year NFL career, came up with the football, and the Jets will have a 1st and goal at the 1.
Pegram on the return, and of course McMillan is the big play guy, but Pegram trying to make something when there's nothing there, gets just a little careless with the ball, and of course you see Pat Chaffee making the tackle, and then McMillan coming up with the fumble and advancing it.
Was thrown. They have moved the ball out to the 15-yard line.
I think they're giving the ball back to the Falcons under the premise that the runner was already down. That's what it looks like to me that the referee ruled.
That is the call. So Atlanta will maintain possession. The play was ruled dead. Instead of the Jets taking over down at the 1, it's Atlanta ball at the 15. 7 minutes remain in this 3rd quarter. And Miller able to dump it off. Mike Pritchard with another flag thrown. Running to the 25-yard line. Hit down by the left defensive tackle, Scott Mercereau. And it's a holding call against the Falcons. Chris Hinton involved in that discussion.
Ineligible lineman downfield, number 75. The penalty is declined. Holding, number 64 offense. 10 yards previous spot. That penalty is accepted. 1st down.
Well, the ruling here, as it turned out, was that Pegram was down by contact, and as a result, there was no fumble. But you can see there that the ball's loose before Pegram's down. I mean, his knees weren't on the ground, so that really was a fumble, but it was ruled as down by contact. Maybe they thought he had no further ability to advance the ball.
I don't know, Bill, another suspect call.
Well, if they rule him down by contact, that's what he's supposed to be, is down, and he wasn't down.
They'll be calling for instant replay. It is incomplete through the hands of Tony Jones. Let's take another look at that play.
Again, Pegram on the return, and it's very clear here that Pegram's knees do not hit the turf before the ball is loose. There you see him spin. Okay, he's not down yet. There's the ball loose. Now his knees hit the ground. That's not a fumble. No, I haven't seen one.
Ironically, as we touched on earlier, the Atlanta Falcons voted in favor of instant replay all 7 years. The Jets voted no, and the Falcons have received the benefit of the doubt on 2 occasions without the instant replay. Nice catch out of the 20 by Pritchard. 6:20 remaining in this 3rd quarter. The Jets at one time trailing 17-0 and now down by only 3. The Falcons 20 and the Jets 17. That's a 12-yard advance. It'll be a 3rd down and 4. Atlanta has it at its 21-yard line.
But when you install the run and shoot offense, again, I mentioned earlier in the game, that's the first pass pattern that you put in. The seam with the 2 wide receivers and the 3rd receiver in the flat, and they're hitting the 2nd receiver on the seam fairly consistently.
Chris Miller, 14 for 19, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, both to Michael Haynes. release by Miller intended for Pritchard. And the Falcons suddenly hearing it from the crowd.
Well, here's that situation with Lageman and Bird on the same side, and McMillan pressuring the launch point forces Miller to get rid of the ball quickly on that third down situation, and he throws it into the ground. I think he saw McMillan coming free and tried to get it around him. Sometimes it looks like the quarterback's throw is errant, when in reality he's just trying to get it around a rushing defender, and he misses receiver by quite a bit.
Big rush, and Fullhead just did get it away. Crowd wanted a call, did not get it. Carpenter able to recover, and he's down inside the 30-yard line. It's a 48-yard punt by Scott Fullhead.
Well, you see Burkett coming off the corner, McMillan coming off the corner, and there the official ruled that the Falcon protector pushed Eric McMillan into the punter, that he would in fact have not hit the punter had it not been for the Falcon blocker.
You hear the crowd react. They wanted a penalty called on the Jets.
So, number 38 right here, Keith Jones pushed Eric McMillan into the kicker, and by the angle McMillan was taken, I think the ruling was correct.
The reaction is residue concerning that the ruling prior to the timeout. Jets take over, first down at their 29-yard line. The tight end Boyer in motion. Nagel couldn't find anybody, and then off the recovery, fires one. It is completed. No, it's incomplete. Nice try by Rob Moore, diving for the ball, but it is ruled incomplete.
Well, this is a sure touchdown if he can hold on to this ball. Again, Rob Moore against Tim McKyer. McKyer's on the ground. Moore juggles it, and then the ball comes loose as Moore hits the ground. But this is a ball, if Nagel could have just laid this up and let Moore run under it, it's a walk-in touchdown.
Looked like Moore jammed a finger as he made contact with the turf. Nagel 13 for 21, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns after the slow start. He's come on strong, and he calls for timeout. May not have been in time. The clock showing 0. Timeout is called, though. We'll be right back.
You know, exactly right, then, as far as progress is concerned.
So you're not exactly buying that. I know the officials on the field forwarded that information to our production staff and the NBC mobile unit. Apparently, Brown and Nagel able to call that timeout in time, so it was not a delay of game, and he's able to complete on the sideline with Carpenter, McKyer providing the coverage. We come up on 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. The Jets at one point trailing 17-0, now are down by only 3.
Just gets his feet down inbounds. Rob Carpenter. Again, they're doing some business over on Tim McKyer's side now. Most of Nagel's big completions have been to that side.
And that's just short of a first down. It's a third down and 1 at the 38. Beautiful play action. And it's another first down for the Jets. Nagel throwing a strike to Moore. A 27-yard advance.
This is a great call by Bruce Cosman. The best call of the game so far. Third down and very short yardage. Hard play fake into the designated short yardage runner, Brad Baxter. Post pattern to Rob Moore. You see Pickens run into the field judge back there as Moore runs the post. Falcons are lucky Moore didn't catch that one in stride and score.
5th catch of the day for Moore for 97 yards. Jets first down at the Atlanta 34-yard line. The lone deep back is Baxter. That Thomas, and he was stopped by Mike Gardner from the nose tackle position.
Falcons blitzing the run again on first down. You can almost write this down every time the Jets make a big play, the next first down that comes up, the Falcons will try to blitz it and make them come up 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 12. Excuse me.
And this a 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. Again, Nagel completes. And once again, it's Rob Carpenter. So the combination from Syracuse, Rob Carpenter and Rob Moore doing damage here in the second half. Pickens and Mitchell combined to get Carpenter out of bounds.
You wouldn't have any preference for Syracuse players, would you, Mark, being that you're a Syracuse, you did graduate, didn't you?
Well, you know, I've been looking for Wichita State people, and I just can't seem to find them.
There are any out there.
Just under 3 minutes remaining in the third. First down at the 23. That pass was thrown behind the intended receiver, Brian Mitchell. On the coverage.
Again, the Falcons blitzing the first down situation there. Pressure at Nagel, and that's not a good throw by Nagel there. He gets it behind Carpenter. Had he got it in front, he could have caught it in stride, but he allowed Brian Mitchell to come over and kind of disrupt the reception, but that would have been a good catch if Carpenter was able to hold on.
And the tone of this game has turned around. The Jets were down 17-0 after one. First downs in the second quarter, and they've taken the play away here in the third. Nagel stepping up, took a pop, but able to get it off, and it's incomplete. He took a hard hit. Chris Burkett, the intended receiver, covered by Tim McKyer.
That was the first time that I kind of got the feeling that Nagel really didn't know what to do with that ball. He kind of looked a little uneasy in the pocket. Of course, the Falcons were coming again, and he made a last-minute decision to get it over there, and he's lucky he got away with that throw. There's McKyer. Of course, the ball's underthrown again. He's tackling Burkett as the ball comes down.
3rd and 10. 23. This is the 8th play of the drive, and the crowd is now a factor as Nagel calls for time.
Well, Nagel would have been better off there to try to get that play off. You know, it's the second half. You don't want to use those timeouts this early in the quarter.
The official NBC noise meter. You see it pinned off to the right. So the Jets are hearing the crowd. Nagel threw into coverage. Almost intercepted by Butler, who was in front of Burkett.
But again, the play selection by Bruce Coslett was a good one. They knew the blitz would probably be coming in light of the noise thing, so they sprinted Nagel out away from the blitzing linebacker Darian Conner. Here comes the corner, Mitchell up in there. But Nagel throws it behind the intended receiver, Burkett, there. I think Bruce is talking to him about that.
It will be a 40-yard field goal attempt for Jason Starofsky. Trying to tie it earlier. He hit from 43. It is no good. So Atlanta maintaining a 20-17 lead. And a look at the reaction from Starofsky and Aguiar as he hit the left goal post.
That's the worst feeling for a kicker. And of course, Nagel worked so hard to get the ball down there. He's going to have a lot of those situations in his career. He's just got to get them down there again. That's his job.
Atlanta taking over at the 24. Keith Jones trying to cut back. Stopped by the combination of Dennis Byrd and Mo Lewis. We approach 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter. It'll be a 2nd and 9 at the 25. Chris Miller, the trigger man of Atlanta's Red Gun, the run and shoot. A quarterback who keeps improving, has a quick release, very accurate on the run. Last year able to overcome a slow start and nagging injuries, and finished up in very strong fashion, as did the Falcons. And this tackle allowing Drew Hill to get out to the 30-yard line. And Lonnie Young able to bring Hill down. Next Saturday, Notre Dame football returning to NBC. Michigan and Notre Dame. Our coverage begins with Notre Dame Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, right here. Third down play coming up. The Atlanta Falcons went 1 up, 3 down in preseason. Eric Glanville hoping to build on the trip to the playoffs a year ago, that record of 10-6. The Falcons' first playoff appearance since back in 1982. The swing pass for Tony Jones, and he picked up perhaps a yard. It is short of the first down. Lonnie Young made the stop.
Well, that situation again where Lageman and Bird were on the same side, and they pressured Miller pretty well from that side. Quick screen got off, but the defense of the Jets reacted perfectly, and it's a punting situation for them now.
And Scott Fulhag has done well the last 2 times just to get the punt off the Jet pressure, and you can see a Jet player.
Now that's James Hasty, and I'll tell you, they cannot afford to lose him. He's their best corner, and they're using him in some matchup situations, and they can't afford to lose him. Now he's on his feet. I think he'll be all right.
To have the wind knocked out of him, James in his 5th year out of Washington State. Came up with 10 interceptions his first 2 seasons, and then you get the idea that quarterbacks would throw to the other side of the field.
He's a good one. He's coming along. He's one of the top corners in the AFC. Now again, I think the Jets have elected this time to return rather than block this punt. They blocked it, made an attempt to block it the last time. I think they're going safe this time, looking for a Falcon trick. Not sure the Falcons are going to punt it at all.
And now Fulhag does get it off. And it's a booming punt. Rob Carpenter with the return. Gets across the 40-yard line. A penalty marker is down with 1 second remaining in this third quarter. 55-yard punt by Fulhag, who has had a superb game, and a 22-yard return.
Those special teams penalties kill you, though. You know, the Jets have a nice return ball out to the 42. 2 first downs. They're in field goal range. Now they're going to be way back here inside their own 20-yard line, having to go 90 yards. There's a swing of 30, 40 yards in field position just on one.
Illegal block in the back during the return, number 23. It'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
That is Marcus Turner, 4-year player from UCLA. There he is, called for the penalty.
Here you see him on the left side running right up the back of the Falcon cover guy. And, you know, that's a good call by the officials right there. Jets have 90 yards to go now.
1 second left in the third quarter. Good run by Brad Baxter. Moving out to the 20-yard line. Stopped by Scott. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Yes, he is the czar of the telestrator. A man who gave up a very promising career at Hackensack High School as what, a center and a linebacker to make it over to the Atlanta Hawks and then to NBC. Mike Fratello these are.
Thank you. Obviously, word spread quickly. You heard about those days, huh?
Yes, I did. Bill was telling me that I guess you had scouted him very carefully.
Yeah, this is your nightmare revisited, though, Marv. You know, the dream team's back again.
Yes. And the completion to Rob Carpenter. The fourth quarter underway with a 51-yard pass play from Nagel to Carpenter, and for Carpenter it is his 6th catch of the day for 148 yards.
Again, Nagel, hard play fake inside. This was the initial game plan. Carpenter against Tim McKyer. Big gain. Jets down in the scoring zone again. Now, Tim McKyer is having a tough day today.
And the New York Jets, first down at the Atlanta Falcon 29-yard line. It's been an excellent second half for Browning Nagel. Back to the ground. Blair Thomas looking to get outside. Darian Connor with the hit, and a penalty flag is thrown. Number 56, the outside linebacker out of Jackson State, Darian Connor, known for his hard hitting, applying one right there as the officials huddle up to discuss it. Now, did you want the czar staying here? You know, he's here with the headset like he's ready to talk.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, late hit out of bounds, number 25. On behalf of the distance, first down.
Marv, you created this monster. I don't know what you want to do with it now. Here you see Jesse Solomon and Scott Case, you know, the one-armed man, going over and bumping Thomas out of bounds, and I'm sure they called it on number 25, Scott Case.
And a photographer also took a hard hit. The Jets on the doorstep, down at the 13. Nagel with lots of time, and has the tight end, Boyer. He threw across the field to Mark Boyer.
Falcons dropping maximum coverage that time. Again, Nagel having to pull the ball down. Couldn't find anybody. Let it out to his tight end, Mark Boyer, but no significant yardage gain.
And it's a loss of 1, second down and 11. You can see the differential as this game has turned around in the second half. Mike, you can leave now. We'll see you Christmas night, a big NBA, NBC doubleheader. But thanks so much.
And as usual, I got to speak about as much as I normally do during the NBA season.
Say goodbye. Second down and 11 at the 14. Burkett in motion. Nagel under pressure. Pass intended for Moore. Covered by McKyer.
Again, one of the audibles that the Jets must have against the Falcon blitz, it's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen it, is Nagel sprinting away from the blitz. Now, they don't have the backside protection picked up. You see there's 2 Jet blockers on one guy, and Darian Connor, who I assume was supposed to be blocked by one of those Jet offensive linemen, comes free. Got 2 guys blocking one, and then nobody on Darian Connor. That's how you lose quarterbacks.
Nagel now 19 for 30, 327 yards. Third down play. Here they come, and Nagel is hauled down. Jesse Solomon on the blitz, getting to Browning Nagel.
These 2 Jet offensive linemen are assigned. Here comes Solomon free. These 2 are blocking one guy, and Solomon comes free. Now, one of those guys has to have Solomon. I don't know which guy it was supposed to be, but one of them has to have Solomon.
And the 42-yard attempt by Starofsky off the mark. Jason Starofsky hit earlier from 43, missed from 40, and just missed from 42. Beyond, Pat Leahy was 1 for 5 from 40-plus, and Starofsky today is connected on 1 of 3. So the Falcons take over, and they have a first Pritchard off the completion, stopped by the strong safety Brian Washington. 2 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter, and Atlanta with a 20-17 lead. For the Falcons, their first down of this second half. Jerry Glanville and the Falcons jumping in front by the score of 17-0 in the first quarter as Browning Nagel got off to a very shaky start, but he has certainly come on in the second half. Atlanta first down at the 41. Draw play for Pegram, and he's hit for a loss. Dennis Byrd made the stop. Dennis Byrd has made the move from defensive tackle. The Jets hoping to take advantage of his speed, and one other factor, he was getting pushed around a bit in the middle.
Number 87 offense, shaving. The penalty is declined.
And that penalty declined. The motion on James Milling, who has been used sparingly as an extra receiver. It will be a 2nd and 13. Dennis Byrd was actually getting worn down at the end of the season because of the pushing around that he took on the other side.
Well, he had played defensive tackle, and now he's playing defensive end. And it's a little less taxing physically for Byrd at the defensive end spot.
Nice move by Mike Pritchard.
This is an automatic play in the run-and-shoot offense. If the quarterback, Chris Miller, looks up and one of his receivers is uncovered by a Jet defender like that, you just raise up and throw it to him no matter what play you have called. And that's an automatic play. There's no audible. There's no nothing. Those two just know that's what's going to happen. And Miller and Pritchard executed it very well.
And a banner day for Mike Pritchard in his second season out of Colorado. He had 50 receptions a year ago. They are measuring for the first down. 13-yard advance for Pritchard. And he is just short of the first down.
Here's Mike Pritchard right here. You don't see any Jet defender covering him. Miller sees him, just raises up and throws it to him. Now the linebacker tries to get out there, but it's a zone defense. There's no one lined up on Pritchard, and that's an automatic call in the Falcons offense.
Pritchard, number 1 draft pick last season, flanked to the right. Now Pegram is out to the left side. Miller's thrown down, but a big hole for Keith Jones, and he has a first down.
Well, that's the first time today that the Falcons have been out of the red gun formation. They put some tight ends in there and decided to run the ball. You see those tight ends in there across the line. In place of the wide receivers, they use linemen, and they're a little stronger with the running game. But that's the first time the Falcons have done that today. Quarterback again having footwork trouble with Keith Jones in getting the ball to him with the center. Jamie Dukes is stepping all over Miller's feet. First it was the right foot, now it was the left foot. I don't guess Miller will be doing any dancing tonight, Mark.
First down at the 35, and Miller is brought down by the blitzing Eric McMillan. First sack of the day for the Jets. You know, during the past week, Bruce Coslett named 6 co-captains instead of 3, and the 6 included Eric McMillan, who was noticeably excited about being named. He's turned it around. At first did not want to play on the kickoff return team. Now he loves returning kicks, and did a nice job last year, although he was coming in for the most part as a 5th defensive back. Was not happy about losing his starting job to Lonnie Young, but went out and played well on special teams, and he is now one of the 6 co-captains named by Bruce Coslett. That is deflected, and it goes incomplete. Jeff Lageman getting a piece of it.
I think Miller was making an attempt to get to another uncovered receiver. By uncovered, I mean there's no one lined up in his immediate proximity. Of course, Jeff Lageman gets his hands up. Here's the uncovered man. Miller's trying to make the automatic to him as the guy goes down the seam right there. Runs right by the linebacker. Lageman tips it. Ball goes up in the air. Lucky there wasn't an interception.
Jeff Lageman goes 6'5". And was telling us last night important for him to get the hands up. So we got a piece of that pass. Play clock down to 1, and Miller just did get it off. And let's see, is that a reception? No. Pritchard through triple coverage, and it was broken up.
Miller again had a pretty good amount of time scanning the field well. Finally finds Pritchard down the middle. Now I don't know where else you want it.
And I can just see you saying that to Pritchard as he comes to the sideline.
Well, a young quarterback sometimes reacts like this. I don't think it's a very good idea for a quarterback to be overly demonstrative when a receiver on his own team drops the ball. Just go back to the sideline and tell him we'll get him next time. The receiver doesn't feel very good about it anyway.
Fulham getting off another good one, and it is downed by Albert Shelley. 59-yard punt, but the Jets will start out from deep in their own territory. With the coverage, intended receiver was Rob Moore.
Well, they've had so much success over here on McKier's side today with Rob Moore. Now, Moore makes a good play there, deflecting the ball so that McKier can't intercept it. What the Jets need to do here, even though time is getting to be a factor, is get the ball out in field position to where if they have to give it up, they're punting where they can pin Atlanta back down and then rely on their defense.
2nd and 10 from the 4. Nagel unleashing. Oh, a little gamble defensively. And it cost McKier. He tried to cut in front of Mathis. It is a first down for the Jets.
Well, if you're going to gamble, this is a good place to do it. McKier's got him pinned down. He really anticipates that outcut by Mathis, but again is unable to wrap him up with the back arm, and Mathis coming down the sideline just gets his foot out of bounds. There you see his foot right on the sideline there. That's a big completion for Nagel now.
First down at the 19. Nagel now 19 of 32. 341 yards. The tight end Boyer in motion. Brad Baxter out to the 24-yard line, met by the inside linebacker Jesse Tuggle.
The Jets have had so many opportunities this half to tie the game up, go ahead. I think what they'd like to do here now is sustain a good solid drive for a touchdown. You know, get up 4 points and see if their defense can hold us up.
Well, there was a Brad Baxter fumble down inside the 5. There were 2 long-range field goals missed by Jason Starowski. So the Falcons with the 3-point lead. 8:20 remaining in this 4th quarter. Change of direction by Blair Thomas. He's to the 29 at the marker. Scott Case up from his free safety position to make the tackle.
That's a nice little bit of running by Blair Thomas there. He had a lot of Falcon defenders unblocked, and he was able to juke him and get back and get positive yardage for the first down.
Yes, he has moved the yardsticks. First down at the 29-yard line, but Blair Thomas has carried 9 times for only 18 yards.
Calling an audible here. Looks like a Falcon blitz. It is.
Thomas in motion. Nagel on the roll. Incomplete. Intended for Terrence Mathis.
Well, I can say without any reservation now that this rollout pass is one of the methods that the Jets have elected to try to sprint away from the blitz of the Atlanta Falcons, try to run a one-on-one pattern out here with Mathis, but that's about the 4th time we've seen Nagel sprint out against a blitz situation, so he's calling that on the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10 at the 29-yard line. We're trying to check on the condition of Al Toon, who has not been in the game plan fact, has not seen much action in the second half. And penalty markers are down. 2 with only 1 catch on the day, and that was for a touchdown. There is Al.
Ball start. Number 66 offense. 5 yards prior to the snap. Still second down.
Well, this is the 3rd false start by Jeff Criswell. What do they call that in hockey, Marv?
Yes, that would be the hat trick, Bill.
The hat trick. 3 in 1 day.
Your all-around knowledge of sports is remarkable.
Mark, what I know about hockey, you could put in that Coke container you're...
Second down and 15, and Nagel completes for the first down. Rob Carpenter on a 19-yard hookup. That is his 6th catch of the day. Rob Carpenter, originally drafted on the 4th round by Cincinnati, was picked up on Plan B from the Patriots.
Rob Carpenter beating Bruce Pickens on the outcut again, and I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with Browning Nagel. He is firing that ball. His first start, Bruce Coslet's got to really be happy with the way this fellow's performing right now. This is a strong opening outing for him.
20 for 34, 360 yards. And Nagel again completes. This time it's Burkett, ankle tackled by Bobby Butler. Browning Nagel opened up first snap of the game on the exchange with the center Jim Sweeney. A fumble recovered by Atlanta. They go in for the immediate score. Chris Miller completing to Michael Haynes, 1 of 2 between Miller and Haynes. Could not get anything at all going on the second drive. I speculated, well, perhaps Bruce Coslet might be thinking of Ken O'Brien.
I don't think he has any intention of doing that now with Nagel's performance. Here's the blitz again. Here's the rollout again.
Nagel throws across the field. Now, is that a rookie mistake? Should he have just eaten the football? Firing across the field.
Oh.
It'll be a 3rd down and 4 at the 48. There you see the stat line on Nagel. We're down to 6 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Throwing a risky pass intended for Boyer.
Again, the blitz look, the Falcons are going to blitz in every pressure situation, and the last 2 blitzes there kind of rattled Nagel just a little bit. Now there's a punting situation, and it's going to be, the onus is on the Jets defense now. They got to stop them in good field position, get the ball back for the Jets around midfield.
So Jason Phillips back at his 10. And he is awaiting the punt from Louis Aguiar. The Jet drive is stopped. Falcons with the 3-point lead. Good punt by Aguiar. Well, Phillips apparently had signaled for the fair catch and then try to run. A 47-yard punt. We'll be back in a moment. Coordinator Pete Carroll, highly regarded. Reportedly, the Minnesota Vikings considered him for the head coaching job last season. And the Jet defensive unit looking to stop the Atlanta Falcons, who take over with 5:46 remaining in this 4th quarter. Atlanta 20, the Jets 17. From the 5-yard line, it's Keith Jones. Stopped by Scott Mercero. Keith Jones, in his 4th year out of Illinois, he's made it back from neck surgery, and he's gone most of the second half. Jerry Glanville opening up with the #1 draft pick, the rookie from Southern Mississippi, Tony Smith. It'll be a 2nd down and 5 at the 10-yard line. Atlanta with a 17-0 lead after 1 on 2 touchdown passes from Miller to Haynes. A 25-yard field goal by Johnson. Jets came back off a 43-yarder by Starofsky. Johnson connected from 54 to extend to 20-3. Nagel combined with Toon on a touchdown, cutting it to 20-10. And in the third, it was Nagel with a 37-yard connection with Burkett, making it 20-17, and that's where we stand. Miller able to complete for the first down with Michael Haynes. 4th catch of the day for Haynes.
Again, Miller on the rollout, no containment. Haynes is just out there by himself. This has been the center of all the Jets' defensive problems, the inability to keep Miller inside. Here you see the Jet linemen all going inside. Now Jones picks off the guy coming around to contain. Miller's out there. He could have stood there for another 10, 15 seconds.
Atlanta first down from their 20-yard line. Chris Miller in his 6th year out of Oregon, coming off a very strong season, concluding by going to the Pro Bowl. Back to the ground for Jones, and a short pickup.
Well, the Falcons have put the tight ends in the game here, number 88 and number 65, Roman Fortin, and Harper LaBelle, and that's their running offense. Now you see LaBelle coming out, and they'll put the wide receivers back in. But on the last 2 first downs, they've had their tight end, and that's if the Falcons have a version of a strong power game. That's it. You've seen it. There's not much else to it.
Harper LaBelle primarily used as the long snapper in his 4th year from Colorado State. 2nd down and 7 at the 23-yard line. A jump pass crossed by Miller. And Keith Jones hauled down at the 25. Mercereau making the stop. Scott Mercereau, who took a shot to the nose earlier in the game, able to hang in. Oh, it does not look pretty.
Doesn't look too good, but one of the interesting things here now is, you know, the Jets only have 1 timeout left, and the inability on the part of their defense to stop the clock. You know, the noise, you go back to the noise, well, it was a factor. It forced those timeouts. So now you see the Jets in a situation defensively where they're just going to have to stop them and not rely on the clock at all.
3rd down and 5 from the 25. Quick release and a first down. Through Hill coming over the middle for the reception. Brian Washington with the tackle. That's the 3rd catch of the day for Hill.
It's a big completion for Miller and Hill there. This is going to allow the Falcons to take it down to the 2-minute situation. Of course, Pete Carroll there knows the urgency of the situation now. With only 1 timeout and the 2-minute warning, the Jets have to make a defensive play very soon, or this game's over.
Now Pegram to the left, Pritchard flanked to the right.
Here's that power running game that the Falcons have again.
Again, they go with the tight end. Keith Jones going for the hole on the left side. The free safety, Lonnie Young, combining with Kyle Clifton for the tackle, and a timeout is called with 2:20 remaining in the 4th quarter. Brian Washington with the stop. Keith Jones has run well here in the 4th quarter.
Well, if this is a first down, the game's over, because the Falcons, all they have to do is kneel on the ball.
Jones, 11 carries, 42 yards. They are bringing out the yardsticks. And it is an Atlanta first down.
Of course, they'll restart the clock, and it will wind down to the 2-minute warning now.
Browning, Nagel, and deep thought with 2 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Jets have certainly had their opportunies. 2 40-plus field goals missed by Jason Starofsky. Another key play, the fumble by Brad Baxter, close to the goal line. Atlanta able to maintain the 3-point lead, and it's Atlanta ball first down from their 43-yard line with 2 minutes remaining.
Well, all Atlanta has to do here is just kneel on the ball and let that 45-second clock run, and the game's over. And there's Jerry Glanville, and of course he's got to be very pleased with the result of this game because of the uncertainty about his roster this week, and the 5 guys coming in late, one couple Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, new guys, and yet he managed to get this team ready to go, and a terrific performance.
Next week, Atlanta will play at Washington, then home for New Orleans, so it is a very difficult opening schedule for the Falcons, while the Jets open with 4 of their first 6 games on the road. Next Sunday at Pittsburgh, then home for San Francisco. We'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching the Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts.
Put 10 seconds on the play clock, please. 10 seconds on the play clock.
Indianapolis Colts defeating the Cleveland Browns by the score of 14-3. So a rough start for your man, former Giant assistant Bill Belichick.
Well, strangely enough there, too, Ted Marchibroda, the new head coach of the Colts, was the guy that hired Bill originally in pro football when he was the coach of the Baltimore Colts.
And Ted today said, "Take that, Bill."
Well, I'm sure Bill's not too happy about it, but it's a good start for Marchibroda.
And the Falcons just looking to run it down. Jets are out of timeouts.
Well, there's Browning Nagel, and of course I think, you know, as disappointed as he is in the loss today, the Jet spirits have to be heightened with his performance, because I really thought he was magnificent, considering this is his first start in these circumstances, the noise, the crowd, everything that he had to face. I thought it was a terrific performance by him. I know he doesn't feel very good about it now, but
Nagel 21 for 37, 366 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Fairly impressive statistics, 366 yards.
We're coming up on a minute remaining. Stay with us after the conclusion of the Falcons and the Jets, the Old Spice NFL postgame report, and they will be taking a close-up look at some of the controversial calls that we saw in this game. And also, they will focus in on the new head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Bill Cowher, who is about to win in his debut. Down to 40 seconds remaining. Jerry Glanville in his 3rd season with Atlanta after 5 years with Houston. Took the Oilers to the playoffs after Houston had suffered through a long drought period. Last season led the Falcons to their first playoff berth since 1982. And in the first regular season game here at the Georgia Dome, as you see Nagel and Miller shake hands. Chris Miller telling us that they know each other from golf outings during the off-season. And the Atlanta Falcons are able to open things up here at the Dome by defeating the New York Jets by the score of 20-17. Falcons jumping in front 17-0, and then hanging on. So the Falcons won it 20-17 after a shaky preseason, while the Jets, who go 5-0 in preseason, open up with the defeat. Marv Albert, Bill Parcells saying so long from the Georgia Dome. Stay tuned for Bob Costas in the postgame.